Is it live? Can we do 10 seconds? Hey, you guys, it is yours truly, Coach Amber J, and we are here today with Key Talk. Again, I am your host, CEO, life coach, your go to wardrobe expert, author, and speaker. And today we are back with episode 2. Super excited to go ahead and dive into this. But before I get there, I would like for you to please like, share, and invite some people to this live. We are here at Nevada Partners at the Westside Community Incubator, and this is happening every Tuesday at 10 a.m. So you can come and be a live audience, or you can chime in through the live stream. But make sure you are connected because we will be sharing major keys every week. And so if you did not watch last week's Key Talk, you missed out. You missed out on who is Coach Amber J, what does she do, what are her services, how do I help people, what actually got me started on the journey of becoming a life coach, and some of the obstacles I've had to overcome, especially the most recent one as an entrepreneur in the journey of overcoming that and using the keys that actually help you step into becoming the greatest version of yourself. So I am super excited every week at 10 a.m. here at Nevada Partners at the Westside Community Incubator. We will be live. So make sure that you tune in, you share this, you invite someone. And then if you have any questions or would like to get information, or you have a topic that you would like me to discuss, make sure you inbox us or DM and let us know what you would like me to discuss. So before we go forward, again, I just want to thank you all. Make sure you like this live, share and invite so that people will know what is happening. Information is free. So how do you want to know how to support someone? Share, like, and invite someone, okay? That is a free key right there. So if you're ready to step into your power and elevate your style and your confidence and unlock these keys, let's do it together as we dive into a conversation that will be kind of intense. And I was debating if I should have this conversation, but based off of last week's live and me sharing some of my journey on the obstacles of overcoming entrepreneurship, I thought this would be a great segue to lead into this conversation. And let's just say, I hope that you're sitting down somewhere, grab a pen, grab a paper, because I am definitely the coach that wants you to implement the keys to do the work immediately. So you see action take place immediately in your life. And so today we are going to discuss the topic today is going to be unlocking your past, healing from pain and trauma. Yeah, in this episode, we're going to be a little deep because I believe that in order for you to move forward, you have to go backwards. And a lot of times that's hard for people to do is because you have to go places where you probably don't want to. Maybe you have suppressed those thoughts, those emotions. It's done. You don't even want to relive it or rethink about it. But it's important for you to know where you're going to go to take a moment to reflect on where you've been, what experiences have shaped you or have shaped your life, what experience what belief systems have you picked up. And as we talk about trauma and pain, what actually maybe has stunted some of your growth in this new season. And so if you're not willing to go back and reflect on some of that, it's really, really hard to move forward in purpose without facing some of your past. So we are going to talk about revisiting your past, dealing with trauma and pain. And before I get started, I'm really big on words and on definitions and understanding what they mean, because a lot of times we use words that don't actually apply, or we give life to things that really don't describe you. So let's talk about what does trauma mean, and what does trauma mean, and what does pain mean. And I want to just kind of go into that, because it's really important that we understand these things to move forward. So just really quick, just I am not a therapist, okay? So I am just a coach sharing some keys, some strategies, some things that I have done to help me overcome, and giving you these same keys. But if you need help and you're in a place, make sure you seek the right help, right? Whether it's coaching, whether it's therapy, mental health. But as I talked last week, the difference between therapy and coaching: therapy does not diagnose. So I do not deal with any mental health issues, but I want to make sure that you are supported. So if you can't decipher the two, make sure that you reach out and definitely seek help. So if any of these conversations trigger you in any way, make sure that you see the right help, okay? Because I do not want that to be the case. I really want this to be a place, in a safe space, where we have actually just reflect and then do the work to move forward, okay? So hopefully that helps. So before we get started, I just want to talk about um, let's define what it means to have emotional pain and trauma. So emotional pain can stem from various experiences: loss, heartbreak, failure, or any significant life changes that leave a mark on your psyche. And I'm just going to read that again. Emotional pain can stem from various experiences: loss, heartbreak, failure, or any significant life changes that leave a mark on your psyche. Um, and then, what is trauma? Trauma, on the other hand, often refers to a more severe emotional response to distressing events such as abuse, accidents, or loss. Both can create lasting effects, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and relationships. It's crucial to recognize that experiencing pain or trauma is not a sign of weakness. It's a human experience. And so I think a lot of times when we experience trauma or pain, we want to quickly um, resolve it, or suppress it, ignore it, so that we don't have to experience it, or to continue to feel what comes with allowing yourself to feel these things. And so with this last experience, I realized that in order for me to actually be able to continue to move forward, I had to identify what caused me emotional pain, what caused me trauma, what has stunted my growth in this season, and what do I need to do. So I had to go back and reflect and help me identify where it stemmed from. Like I said, for a whole year, I wasn't very clear where my pain and trauma stemmed from, until I identified the obstacle that I had to overcome as an entrepreneur. And in my last episode, I shared with you that was being scammed. Let me see. Drop in the box. Have you ever been scammed? um, and it wasn't until I started to reflect over, after all of the trauma that happened and the downward spiral of things that happened in my life, was I able to sit still and kind of reflect on what initiated this, what happened to me that made me like not care, right? Made me want to derail my purpose, wanted me to give up on coaching. Where did it stem from? And so a lot of times, and I want you to ask yourself, if you're in a place where you feel like you have trauma or emotional pain, take a moment and ask yourself, where does this stem from, right? A lot of times it does stem from childhood issues if you haven't dealt with them. But really take a moment and sit still somewhere with your notebook and your journal, or your journal and your pen, and ask yourself, where did this hurt come from? What happened, right? What has me feeling like um, I can't move forward, right? Or I don't trust anyone. I don't trust myself. These are some questions that you can ask yourself. These are journal prompts where you can really get deep and start to ask yourself those questions. And this is what it looks like to start to do the work of healing. Um, so, can you recall a time when you faced a setback but found the strength to bounce back? Share in the comments like a story where you found yourself really in a dark place and you used some keys to help you pull yourself out of it. What was that story? And if you would like, please share in the comments. One of the things that I've also learned on this journey is that we go through a lot of things and we think that we're going through them alone, that this is only happening to you. The reality is that that is not true. A lot of us are facing things in silence. And as I decided to start back doing these key talks, I wanted this to be a space where I'm honest and I'm vulnerable, and that it can be a space for other people to be honest and vulnerable so that you can have the courage to continue to move forward. There's a lot of people suffering in silence, and you don't have to, because you're not alone. Again, I'm sure there's other people that have had really bad experiences in business, and if we start to talk about them, some of these things can be alleviated if we're honest with ourselves and with other people. And the point of my key talks, or the point of this, is also to help other people bring light to what is happening, right? It's not only happening to you. What I believe for myself is these things happen for me so I can share to other people, so you don't have to go through that same thing. So, again, last week I shared a story on how I trusted a company to take over my branding and marketing, and they scammed me. They didn't produce anything that they said that they would do in their contract. They were not on time, and it literally derailed me and had me questioning, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Right? And it sent me in a downward spiral where I completely went into another industry where I lost financially thousands of dollars that I know I cannot get replaced, right? But I'm grateful for the experience because it allowed me to recognize the resilience within myself. It allowed me to recognize that I can overcome anything and that things do happen, but what can I do so that they won't happen again? What lessons did I need to learn? What lessons did I need to learn so that I don't experience this kind of trauma or pain again? So I'm grateful for the experience. So I want you to ask yourself, what experiences cause you emotional pain, right? What was it that actually caused the pain? For me, it was a disappointment, it was the lies, it was betrayal, it was the financial aspect of it, and then it was also feeling taken advantage of, right? So those are the pains that I experienced that really put me into this downward spiral. Um, So, as we talk about this, now that we have identified, and hopefully you wrote something down and you help identify what that experience was for you, what was that pain or that trauma? And I want to share some practical steps on what you can do to now release it, because I don't want to just open you up and not leave you with any keys to actually move forward in healing this or begin your healing journey, right? Because that is really what this podcast is about, is helping you to start unlocking the keys to open new doors, or use those same keys to lock doors that no longer serve you. So again, one of those things is learning how to journal. And when I say journal, it's good sometimes to just write, right? Just get in a still place. Excuse me. Get in a still place with a pen. Maybe you don't have words, right? I remember in a part of my healing journey with this experience, I didn't have words. So I doodled, right? I scratched on the paper. I just wrote. And as I began to do that, I felt this anger begin to release out of me. And after I looked at it and I had cried and I sat and I looked, I'm like, wow, I just released a lot of this anger because I was upset. Something happened to me that I didn't have control over. One, and I think I was angry at myself. Like, I should have vetted better. I should have went with my first instincts. Like, all of this guilt trip that we put on ourselves, right? The blaming, the shaming, the guilt. And as I looked at the paper, I was able to release that shame, that guilt, that anger, that frustration, right? So journaling is a way of helping you to start to release some of that pain in a healthy way. Um, the next thing that is really important as you begin to start dealing with some of your trauma and pain, it is really important that you have safe people, that you seek support, whether that's therapy, counseling, coaching. Seek support, that you're reminded that you're not alone. Sometimes we can be in our head too much, and you need to be able to release those feelings and those emotions in a healthy way. And then also have someone be able to reflect with you, right? Is this some of the truth, right? I think a lot of times we're stuck in our head because we believe the lie, right? And when I say believe the lie, it can put us in this victim mindset where we're like, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? Poor me. Not that the experience wasn't real, but how long are you going to stay there, right? Another thing that you can also do is mindful practices. So sitting still, learning how to do how learning breathing techniques, deep breathing exercises, meditation, prayer. These are all mindful techniques that are very helpful to help you move these feelings and emotions from your body out of your body, because our head, in our mind, we create all of these experiences, right? And they have to go somewhere, and a lot of times we're storing them in our body. And so mindful techniques help you release that feeling. Let me know if this is good to you guys. Drop some keys. Let me know how you're feeling. Like, if you had any experiences, and again, if you would like to share those. I think it's important that, again, other people know that you're not in this alone. And this is a safe space for you to literally share with other people, but also free yourself in this. So hopefully going this deep allows you to feel what you need to feel and then release it. One of the things that was really important on this journey for me with healing is creating a timeline activity. So, in order for me to identify what exactly triggered me, or the trauma, what caused this trauma or this emotional pain, it made me go through this timeline activity. And what is a timeline activity? It's literally a visual timeline of your significant events of your life. So for me, it started in 2022, right? So I had to go back from now to 2022, right? That was my timeline, because that's when I felt like things just started to derail for me. So as I created this timeline, I was able to identify where in my timeline, what exactly happened, what triggered me, what was the trauma that changed my psyche, my mental psyche, my emotional psyche, and identify that. And so I lost my space. So yes, creating a, um, a timeline was really important, right? And then I was able to write down major events that affected me from this situation, and then I was able to sit in that and deal with that. The next thing um that was important for me to do was, now that I've identified it, now that I see the timeline, now that I see all the negative effects of what happened to me because of this trauma, I then set an intentional plan so that I can move forward. So setting intentions will help you explore how you want to move forward in your future based off of your reflections, right? So So based off of my experience, I then started to write my intentions. Okay, what do I need to do right now to move me forward? Right? This happened. This is the trauma. This is the pain. I'm releasing it. I'm using my mindfulness techniques. I'm journaling. I'm expressing what happened to me. I'm allowing myself to feel the pain, feel the emotions, and I've done my timeline, so I have time to reflect. Now, what do I want to do to move forward? What intentions do I need to take that will help me move forward? So, being intentional and setting intentions will help you um, move forward and creating a roadmap, right? Creating a roadmap to move you forward. So, those are the things that I did that really helped me. So, just to recap, right, on unlocking healing through trauma and pain is one, identifying what that is. What was that initial impact that affected you of trauma or emotional pain that affected you? The loss, the hurt, the heartbreak, the betrayal, or what was it, right? What part of the timeline? How long has it been affecting you, right? Going back, reflecting, this is when it happened. This is why this happened, and this happened, and this happened. This is why I made some of the decisions that I made because I didn't realize that this was affecting me. And then setting intentions to move forward. How do I move forward now that I've identified this? So setting a plan. Listen, a man without a plan plans to fail. That is law. So now that you understand this, what do you want to do now? What do you want to do now? How are you going to move forward? Set those intentions. Be very specific. Be very clear. Add timelines. Okay, in 30 days, I want to do this. In 60 days, I want to do this. In 90 days, I want to do this. And use SMART goals. If you don't know what SMART goals are, I'll share them now. They're small, measurable, obtainable, realistic, time measured goals. You have to make SMART goals because we can say, okay, well, in a year or in 8 months, I want to be here. But is that realistic? Can you obtain these things in this amount of time? So SMART goals helps you break it down so that you can reach the goals, so that you can get to that next level. Um, the next thing is, we have reflecting, right? We have intentions, and then now it's moving forward. It's really doing the necessary work to move you forward. Faith without works is dead. Now you have to put your plan into action, right? This is my plan, and these are the actions that I have to take in order to get me to where I want to go. And so, in closing and just wrapping this up, I really want to emphasize on your story, right? Sharing your story is one, allowing you to be courageous, is allowing you to be vulnerable, but it's also allowing other people to be free. So having the courage to share your story really helps you, not only yourself, but other people who may need to know that they're not alone. So hopefully my story has empowered someone to share their story. If someone scammed you, if someone got over you, if somebody misused you, share that, right? And it's not to bash the other person. It's not even to make reference of that other person. It's saying, this is my experience. This is what happened to me. And this is how it affected me. But now I'm taking my power back and I'm going to set intentions to move forward, to be back in purpose. So I want to, again, just remind you that it's okay. It's okay. Nothing happened to us, it happened for us. So I know when you're in the middle of this, when you're feeling this trauma, when you're feeling this pain, that it can feel like it's never going to end. Like, I'm never going to recover. Let me tell you, it's okay to feel that way, but you will be okay. You will make it. There is another side to this, right? There is greatness on the other side of this pain, and it's what you choose to do with that pain. And for me, my pain, I choose to transmute it into purpose. I choose to share with other people so they don't have to experience some of this alone, and that you know that you can make it on the other side. So stepping into purpose, none of this happened to you, it happened for you. What are you going to do now? Um, so yeah, drop a key. Let me know if this resonated with you. If you can say, "Hey, I can identify with this coach," or if you're just like, you know what, I don't fully know how to get over this, right? And I need help. Make sure you reach out. I want to introduce a program. It is called Becoming Her or Becoming Him, but it's this program is intentionally becoming her. It's going to be a 4-week virtual workshop where we are going to discover who you are after the pain, right? I can now choose to step into my purpose and use the tools to become the version of me that I truly desire to be. And so it will be a 4-week virtual workshop. And you can go to my website if you're interested to get more details and information. But it's time that we take our power back. It's time that we step into purpose. And maybe you haven't been there before, but now is the time to create her and or create him. And really show up for yourself. I know that all of us have a master key inside of us, and I want to be able to help you unlock that key within you to become the greatest version of yourself. So thank you guys for joining me this week. Make sure that you stay tuned every Tuesday. If you have any questions or maybe you just want to do a discovery call, make sure you go to my website as well at CoachAmberJ.com and let's have a free discovery call. Let's see if we are a good fit and if I can help you in tapping into your purpose while doing it in style and in confidence. Again, share this, invite someone, and until next week, we'll see you next Tuesday. Have an amazing rest of your week.